Number one, to avoid multiple flights, including a trip to high elevation in Denver after tonight's game here in Milwaukee. The Lakers, as you see, are going to play a brutal stretch starting tonight of 6 games in 8 days. The second reason is to take advantage of him being home. Obviously, the comforts of sleeping in his own bed, be able to rehab in his own facility. Listen, we're talking about a guy who's played at an all-NBA level this year, but LeBron is 40 years old, and he has played a lot of basketball.
He didn't want to go to Milwaukee because it's Milwaukee. Those are the shocking words from Charles Barkley that have set the NBA world on fire. In what might be his most controversial take yet, Sir Charles hasn't just questioned LeBron James's injury, he's flat out accused the king of ducking games and misleading fans. Tonight, we're breaking down the explosive comments that have Lakers Nation up in arms and NBA analysts divided. Welcome back to NBA Insider, where tonight we're talking about the war of words that has everyone talking.
This was LeBron James on Charles. He's a hater. What makes what he says credible? Because he's on TV? I'm not going to let him disrespect my legacy like that. I'm not the one who threw somebody through a window. I never spit on a kid. I never had unpaid debt in Las Vegas. I never said I'm not a role model. I'm tired of biting my tongue. There's a new sheriff in town.
Charles Barkley, never one to hold back, has stunned viewers with his brutally honest assessment of LeBron James's recent decision to fly back to Los Angeles instead of continuing on the Lakers road trip. What started as a routine injury update quickly escalated when Barkley went on an unfiltered rant, questioning not just LeBron's travel plans, but potentially his commitment to the team during a grueling part of their schedule. The Lakers are in the midst of a brutal stretch, 6 games in just 8 days, a schedule that would test any team's endurance. When TNT's Jared Greenberg reported that LeBron James had returned to Los Angeles after the Brooklyn game due to a groin injury, mentioning factors like avoiding Denver's high elevation and getting comfort at home, it seemed like standard injury management for a 40-year-old superstar. But Charles Barkley wasn't buying it. Not one bit. Barkley began with heavy sarcasm dripping from every word. I just hope they survive. They act like, listen, man, they're not flying commercial. They're not flying Southwest. As his fellow TNT analysts laughed uncomfortably, Barkley was just getting started. What came next left everyone stunned. He wasn't going to play anyway. LeBron's probably out for the rest of the season. I don't see him coming back. Yes, you heard that right. Charles Barkley, an NBA Hall of Famer and one of basketball's most prominent voices, essentially accused LeBron James of exaggerating an injury and suggested he might be done for the year.
It's been made very clear that this groin injury that he's dealing with is not even close to as bad as the one that cost him 6 weeks back in the 2018-2019 season.
But Barkley wasn't finished. He saved his most explosive claim for last. And he stayed in New York because it's New York. He didn't want to go to Milwaukee because it's Milwaukee. That's why he flew back home. Stop it, man. These guys be juicing y'all up all the time. In one shocking outburst, Barkley didn't hold back, accusing LeBron James of exaggerating his injury, deliberately avoiding Milwaukee, abandoning his team during a critical schedule stretch, and misleading everyone about his real reasons for returning to LA early. Examining LeBron's injury provides crucial context to Barkley's controversial claims. At 40 years old, James has sustained an impressive workload this season, following his Olympic gold medal run with Team USA while maintaining elite performance levels across statistical categories. The groin injury in question occurred during the Lakers' Brooklyn game, resulting in a day-to-day designation. Sources close to LeBron indicate this isn't as severe as his previous groin injury that caused an extended absence. Medical experts confirmed Denver's high altitude could genuinely worsen inflammation and complicate soft tissue recovery, lending credibility to the official explanation that Barkley dismissed. The Lakers' schedule presents a legitimate challenge as the only NBA team facing 6 games in 8 days, an extraordinarily demanding stretch even with modern recovery methods. Notably, Rui Hachimura and Jackson Hayes also returned to Los Angeles early instead of continuing the road trip, raising questions about Barkley's Milwaukee avoidance theory. Are these role players supposedly ducking Wisconsin too? Social media immediately erupted following Barkley's comments. Lakers fans expressed particular outrage, with one commenting, "Chuck is a Lakers hater for life," capturing widespread sentiment among the fan base. Another confused fan wrote, "ESPN should change their mind and cut these bums off the air next year." Apparently unaware, Barkley appears on TNT. Some reactions turned personal. This fat slob hates the sport he covers. Maybe if he wasn't such a degenerate gambler, he could have retired years ago. However, Barkley found support from others appreciating his candor. People hate Chuck because he real lol bro, always speaking facts. The Barkley-James relationship provides essential background. Though not sworn enemies, they've had numerous public disagreements over LeBron's career choices, from the decision to his perceived influence on team management, which Barkley once called inappropriate and whiny. LeBron has counterattacked, telling reporters, "I'm not going to let him disrespect my legacy like that. I'm not the one who threw somebody through a window. I never spit on a kid. I never had unpaid debt in Las Vegas." This latest criticism represents another chapter in their ongoing tension, a basketball legend from yesterday challenging today's superstars' approach. There's another fascinating aspect to Barkley's comments, his implication that LeBron specifically wanted to avoid Milwaukee. This touched on a sensitive topic in NBA circles about market size and the perceived desirability of different NBA cities. Milwaukee, despite being home to two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo and the 2021 NBA champions, has historically struggled with the perception of being a small market with less appeal to star players. Barkley's suggestion that LeBron preferred the glamour of New York or Los Angeles over Milwaukee plays into a larger narrative about player preferences and market inequalities in the NBA. It's worth noting that LeBron has never publicly expressed any negative opinions about Milwaukee as a city. In fact, he's spoken highly of Giannis and the Bucks organization on numerous occasions. At the core of this Barkley-LeBron controversy lies a fundamental basketball philosophy divide. Old-school purists, represented by Barkley, believe players should endure discomfort, travel with teammates regardless of playing status, and only sit out with significant injuries. The modern approach, meanwhile, embraces strategic rest, load management, and preventative care to extend careers, particularly for veterans like LeBron, who've logged unprecedented minutes over decades. This philosophical clash explains the passionate reactions to both LeBron's decision and Barkley's criticism. Neither side easily concedes ground in this evolving debate about player preservation versus traditional toughness. Looking beyond this specific incident, Barkley's comments fit into a broader pattern of former players criticizing today's stars for perceived special treatment and diminished resilience. Similar controversies erupted around load management just last season, eventually prompting Commissioner Adam Silver to implement policies ensuring star availability for nationally televised games. For LeBron, now remarkably in his 22nd NBA season while maintaining elite performance, these decisions balance immediate team needs against career preservation, extending an already unprecedented legacy of excellence and longevity. According to reports, LeBron is scheduled for reevaluation early next week, with updates on his status forthcoming. The Lakers must meanwhile navigate their punishing 6 games in 8 days gauntlet without their cornerstone player. For Barkley, these comments further cement his reputation as basketball's most unfiltered analyst, beloved by some for his candor, criticized by others for perceived unnecessary provocations. As this story develops, one certainty remains. The relationship between basketball legends past and present continues evolving in complex ways. Barkley's willingness to publicly challenge James demonstrates his belief that no player, not even the all-time scoring leader, deserves immunity from criticism. Whether you view Barkley as speaking truth to power or simply stirring controversy for ratings, his comments have again positioned him at the center of basketball discourse. For LeBron, at 40 with nothing left to prove, perhaps commentators' opinions, even from Hall of Famers, simply don't resonate as they once might have. What's your take? Is Barkley right to question LeBron's commitment, or is he failing to understand modern player management? Let us know in the comments below.